Not all supervillains start out evil, and that's why for today's list we're following up on a video you guys seem to love with the top 10 most powerful superheroes who became villains, part 2. Let's hop right into the countdown, shall we? Coming in at number 10, we have Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. After years of serving as the devil of Hell's Kitchen and attempting to bring justice to the streets of New York, Matt Murdock finally reached a breaking point after his enemy Bullseye destroyed a building with 107 innocent people inside. Taking control of the Hand, the antagonistic group of ninjas he'd long fought against, Daredevil declared martial law over Hell's Kitchen and began wearing a darker costume to show that he no longer cared about crossing the line of killing, stabbing Bullseye in the chest to drive this point home. And while Daredevil's drastic actions would eventually be explained to be partially caused by him being possessed by the beast of the Hand, it still didn't stop him from building a literal vigilante prison in the middle of New York and crossing several lines that he still regrets crossing to this day. Coming in at number 9, we have Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier. Originally serving as Captain America's young sidekick and friend during his earliest World War II adventures, Bucky was long thought to be dead by Cap and the rest of the world following his disappearance aboard an exploding plane belonging to the villain Baron Zemo. Recovered by a Russian submarine that discovered he was only missing a single arm, Bucky was turned into the Winter Soldier, the most feared assassin in the world for decades with no memory of his true identity. And while eventually Bucky would have his memories restored due to the efforts of an unfrozen Captain America, he still was one of the most dangerous men in the entire Marvel world for many years. Coming in at number 8, we have Jason Todd, the former second Robin and the current Red Hood. Another example of a sidekick gone dark side after their apparent death, Jason Todd was the second Robin after Dick Grayson's retirement from the role, and unfortunately met a tragic end when facing a crowbar-wielding Joker. Years later, Jason Todd would reappear in Gotham City after being resurrected in a Lazarus pit, now dealing out a brand of violent justice that would make even Batman flinch and put him into conflict with many of the costumed heroes he used to call friends. And yes, eventually Jason would have his violent methods tampered down into more of an anti-hero status rather than a villain, but he still did some pretty messed up stuff after first claiming the Joker's former title of the Red Hood. Coming in at number 7, we have Robot from the Image comic series Invincible. Initially thought by his superpowered teammates to be an artificial intelligence in a metal body, Robot is eventually revealed to be a deformed boy living in a test tube, using mechanical drones to live out his dream of being a superhero. Unfortunately, following an invasion by the Flaxen dimension in which time runs much faster, Robot is trapped within this dimension for over 700 years. During which he takes over their entire planet and begins to see the value of complete control over a population. Following his return to Earth and lying about how long he was actually away for, Robot soon begins to plan for conquering this world as well, and is eventually able to wipe out any superhumans standing in his way before the countries of the world all surrender to his drone army. From a metal teen superhero to the villainous dictator of the entire Earth, Robot has definitely had one hell of a character arc. Coming in at number 6, we have Captain America, or more specifically, the version known as Hydra Cap. Initially appearing to be the main Marvel Universe's Captain America, this version of Steve Rogers had grown up indoctrinated by Hydra's fascist ideologies, and was actually sent to America to kill the creator of the superhuman serum for the Axis powers, but instead wound up deceiving his way into receiving the serum himself. Having replaced the main Steve Rogers during an event that restored his lost powers, this Hydra Cap was able to hide his evil intentions until the pivotal moment that he declared to the world those shocking words, "Hail Hydra." Coming in at number 5, we have the Incredible Hulk, or more specifically, the version that would become known as Maestro. Giving himself a new name after conquering what remains of America following a nuclear winter in a dark possible future, this version of the Hulk has become far stronger than his original gamma-green form, with years of sucking up deadly radiation only improving his ferocity and power. When the real Hulk encountered this warlord version of himself, the only way he was able to finally come out on top was by literally warping the Maestro back in time to be killed by the same gamma bomb that created the Hulk back in the 60s. But even since then, this future version of the Hulk still seems to keep finding ways to return and claim dominion over the world that he claims he deserves to rule. Coming in at number 4, we have Mary Marvel of the Shazam family. The older sister of Billy Batson, Mary was a fan favorite member of the Shazam family and always seemed to have her siblings' backs. However, following an event that saw the Rock of Eternity shattered and Billy Batson having to take the role of the Wizard Shazam, Mary found her powers entirely gone. Feeling alone and useless, Mary was manipulated by the villains Darkseid and Eclipso into taking Black Adam's power instead, intending for her to become the bride of Darkseid in the process. And while this plan was eventually foiled, with reboots of the DC Universe since having erased Mary's evil period of her life, this corruption still shows that in the wrong hands, the power of Shazam could be absolutely disastrous. Coming in at number 3, we have the infamous Batman Who Laughs from the Dark Multiverse. In a twisted alternate world where the Joker realizes he's dying and begins a mass killing spree of everyone in Gotham, Batman is forced to finally kill his arch nemesis. Unfortunately, at the moment of death, Bruce was infected with a special brand of Joker venom that completely flipped his moral compass, but left intact all of his intelligence and planning. All of the chaos of the Joker with the brains of Batman. This supervillain is Gotham's worst nightmare come to life ever since he first crossed over into the main DC universe, and has only been able to be defeated with the entire help of the Bat family and a God mode powered Wonder Woman. Coming in at number 2, we have Superboy Prime. A jaded version of Kal-El from an alternate universe known as Earth Prime, this Superboy was the only superpowered hero on his own world, with all other heroes merely being fictional. After this reality was wiped out during the Crisis on Infinite Earths, Superboy Prime became obsessed with recapturing his past glory as the one and only Man of Steel, and slowly twisted into a psychotic version of Kal-El, determined to wipe out every other Clark Kent and destroy the entire multiverse if he has to. All of this goes to show that Superman's power is incredibly dangerous in the wrong hands. Speaking of which, coming in at our top spot, we have Injustice Superman. Hailing from an alternate universe similar to the main DC universe, Superman was the most beloved hero on the planet Earth until a surprise attack by the Joker led to the complete nuclear destruction of Metropolis, and Superman being deceived into murdering his own wife and unborn child. Immediately murdering the Joker in his grief, this version of Superman snapped and declared himself the High Counselor and sole leader of Earth, essentially conquering the entire planet. With a resistance movement led by Batman facing against him, this version of Superman sank to lower and lower depths, and was only able to be finally locked away with the help of the Justice League from the main DC universe, going to show that the only thing truly capable of taking down Superman is another Superman. That's all the time we have for today's video, but thank you all so much for watching. As always, I've been Josh Busker, and I'll see you all next time, Nerd Squad.